In the coming week, the airwaves, well, they'll be swamped with the words impeachment inquiry.
The center of this new impeachment inquiry.
We call it an impeachment inquiry.
Before launching an impeachment inquiry,
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announces an impeachment inquiry.
The government whistleblower who set off the impeachment inquiry.
We really only have one topic to discuss.
Here's a live look at where the high-stakes hearing with the acting director of national intelligence.
What is in that whistleblower's complaint?
It is in the Constitution.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo subpoenaed for Ukraine documents.
These past 10 days in September may prove pivotal. Key moment in the impeachment battle.
What I think has shifted is sort of the moral implications inside the Democratic caucus.
Donald Trump will leave Congress, in my view, no choice but to initiate impeachment.
Oy vey, as my loving grandma used to say. Don't get me wrong, we have a corrupt president. Not exactly breaking news. Should he be impeached? Yeah, for about 25 things. But do you need me to tell you that? Do you need status quo to cover this wall to wall? I don't think so. But let me tell you something else that's very scandalous. The fact that Flint, Michigan still does not have clean water 5.5 years later. The fact that Newark, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Cleveland, parts of Florida, parts of California, parts of Massachusetts, Detroit.
So the residents have had to bear this burden of the city screwing up, the state screwing up.
So this issue about water is a growing crisis in the Midwest, if you ask me.
And many other cities in America also have water problems. Another scandal. Black men continued to be executed by the police in the United Corporations of America.
So it's many inconsistencies that's in the situation. So we know, that it's plain out murder.
I understand or have some understanding of police culture, that they like to protect their own.
For years and decades, it's been an open season for black men.
After they dragged him for several feet, they put him back on the ground face down.
Another scandal. State parties all over the country, Democratic state parties, are screwing local progressive candidates just like the DNC screwed Bernie Sanders in 2016. Another scandal. Fracking and these crude oil, natural gas, totally unnecessary, totally toxic pipelines are being built at a record rapid pace, and there are fighters on the ground getting no media coverage.
Since when is profit more important than water? When is profit more important than people?
So, if you want 24/7 Trump, 24/7 impeachment, 24/7 Ukraine, 24/7 Russia, whatever other scandal of the day, not your guy. But if you want on the ground, in the field reporting of the actual, true, long-lasting, happening way before Trump scandals in America, become a member. Statusquo.com/join for as low as a cup of coffee a month. Statusquo.com/join. Help us build the media revolution. We go out in the field. We've been all over this country in the last 2 years.
Standing Rock. I've been with you. I've been with you since Standing Rock.
Wow, you got me on right now. We're doing it, baby. We're going to South Bend. It's time to show the real Mayor Pete.
In 100 days, they tore down 1,000 houses in 100 days.
Thank you, whether it's Standing Rock or Flint or everything else you do. You know, you guys, it's not even like watching news. It's just watching truth, you know.
It's not me and you, Jordan. It's the ruling class. It's David Koch. It's the Walton family, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. It's them, not us, that benefit from these illegal offensive wars.
Come on over here. Whoa!
We're here at the Bellagio in Las Vegas, and you are going to see live the actual caucus process. We are here.
We go out in the field, and we give the microphone back to the people.
Yo! Cool! I know who you are, yo! How you doing, man? You the man, yo!
Unmarked pills, okay.
Ooh, essential oils, purification. Oh, peppermint. La la la. Love it.
I am worried about Jordan, testing positive. He doesn't have any breathing difficulties right now, but he definitely has a cough that's been really bad and that's been hurting his chest.
That's Fury right there. I've cleared out the desk and now got my drill a hole and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully well. I know a general idea of what I want, essentially, so I'll try and get all this down to about a minute, get the main points, especially I got 2 videos at least for Flint.
The bottom line is, it's Sunday morning, I'm preparing for my Sunday live stream, which usually takes me about 2 hours to prepare for before the live stream. And I got an email from a viewer.
Hey guys, Jen Dice here with a behind the scenes video. First of all, thank you so much for being a member. It's because of you guys that Jamal and I are able to be here. We can't thank you enough. It means just the world to us.
Millions and millions of people have been laid off. Millions more have had their hours cut. We're kind of living in a quiet, silent depression. What do you call 45 million people filing for unemployment?
$1,200 in 3 months makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense.
Everybody should be paying attention to what's going on because this is happening in every county, not just Louisville, Kentucky. And that's why the world is like, wait a minute, enough's enough.
And one thing I do know is if you're not sitting at the table, you are on the menu. And it seems like we continue to be on the menu.
I don't want to have to lose everything that we worked really hard for. We've been struggling for 5 years, and then we finally got everything together, and it just instantly went away.
Literally driving across the country during the pandemic, talking to people, finding out what's going on.
But there are people such as yourself and other people that are telling the true story of what is happening.
All of these black people have been assassinated by police in this city, and none of them have been brought to justice.
People don't really care about those things in places where, you know, we're not New York, we're not Chicago, we're not Minneapolis, we're Louisville, Kentucky.
If somebody calls you screaming for help at 911, they never treated her. They never came to her apartment, nothing.
Vote. Vote. And do what's right in your heart because change comes from within. So as long as your heart is pure and you're doing what's right, that's what matters.
Once upon a time there was truth in journalism where brave men and women gave voice to the voiceless. But then the corporations bought the journalist, poisoning the news that we are fed. With those tainted sources all we ever ate was a steady diet of status quo. This hijacked narrative hid the truth of mass suffering, injustice and corruption throughout our land. Status quo, status quo, status quo, status quo. To expose this shift to oligarchy came a band of honest journalists. They left the studio and hit the streets to give the microphone back to the people. From sea to sea, the people were empowered to share their truth. Their voices no longer stifled, reclaimed their power. Join the media revolution now.
Hey guys, for a second there I forgot to turn on my mic. Surprise, it's me today. I'm gonna wait until you guys come on in. Let me know if you can hear me and see me and all of that good stuff. It's me today, Jen, here for a very specific reason, which I will tell you. So exciting, some really exciting stuff coming up. Hope you can hear me. While you're waiting, smash the like button so YouTube shows this stream to more people. I see we have a troll in the chat. Athelis, whoever you are, if you're gonna stick around, at least donate, smash the like button. Bon Arkham, thank you, haha. Oh, thank you. Guess what, my friends? Jordan's getting married. Jordan's getting married on Sunday, so I'm here for right now Jordan and Anat getting married Sunday. Very, very exciting news. Definitely send them some well wishes. Write info@statusquo.com if you want to send Jordan and Anat some well wishes. I am so excited for the wedding. Super, super duper exciting. Let's see here. Carl, I'm never on Facebook. Never, hardly ever. Anasty, I'm Jen. I'll show you a picture of Anat. All right. Will C. May, as a longtime supporter, I wish the status quo logo was changed. It reminds me too much of the Blue Lives Matter flag if I were to wear merch in public. I don't understand that because it doesn't look like that. The C in sorry, I was reading the chat, I got distracted. The C in the coup is a little bit blue, but there's no blue line, like there's no thin blue line or whatever. So I don't see that it's an issue. I've heard that like maybe once before, but I think we'll keep it. We love it. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. For those of you who aren't familiar, there's Jordan and Anat. Yay! They're getting married on Sunday. Definitely keep the super chats coming in celebration. I'm so excited for them. You can also support our GoFundMe fundraiser. Because I got started with this so late, I'm going to keep it short today. I meant to start at 5, but I had some work backed up and some things to do. So, yes, the picture is very cute. And as Dave said, super chats make the world go round. So definitely keep those coming in. Keep smashing that like button, share on your Twitter, your Facebook. Of course, we're going to talk about the town halls. And I labeled this disastrous town halls for Biden and Trump. I think clearly Trump's was worse. Trump's town hall was worse. But Biden's was only okay in the sense that it was like what we had to compare it to is Trump's. So like Trump's is like a circus. Biden's is like boring and not good and not at all progressive. The policies are bad, but it looks so much better, or it feels so much better because it's not Trump. Cool. So we have a couple of trolls here now. So Sask, Jordan worked for CNN and Fox. That's not true. He did work for Fox. He has never worked for CNN in the video department. Not super true. Do you think these people can afford to burn bridges for the sake of partisanship? Sask, like, at least come up with some real facts to troll us on. And while you're here, smash the like button and give me some super chats. All right. Yeah, we do love Anat's cheers, peace, power. Seriously though, I'm so excited. Jordan and Anat getting married on October 18th, just in 2 days. Jaja Binks, $4.99 in the super duper chat. I appreciate what y'all do. Thanks for the honesty. Thank you, Jaja. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I really appreciate you. You're amazing and awesome. Very good. We have almost 200 viewers coming in. Hopefully we can get even more, even though it's a Friday. Elle says town halls should be boring. I don't think that they should be a circus. I don't think that they should be, set for entertainment. They have to be about policy. But it doesn't have to be the way it was. It doesn't have to be the way it is with Biden. So like a Bernie town hall is a much different experience than a Biden town hall. And again, the only reason that Biden looked okay was because he was up against Trump on the other channel. People were really praising Savannah Guthrie. She had some good lines. it was ridiculous that NBC hosted it in the first place. However, I definitely don't get why people were completely up in arms about it, that they were these dueling town halls and that NBC decided to do it at the same time as ABC's. It's all about the money. And in the end, this surprised me. This really surprised me, and we'll go through it. I definitely thought that Trump's town hall would get more viewers than Biden's town hall, but I was wrong. I was off by, Biden's got 1 million more viewers, which really, really shocked me. So that was on ABC. All right. So we've got almost 200 people here. Keep smashing the like button. Keep those super chats coming. Once again, I will remind you that Jordan and Anat are getting married on Sunday. We're very, very excited for them. Like the super chat, none of this goes to them for the wedding, but let's celebrate their nuptials by being excited and keeping the chat going and sending them some love. Super chats are welcome. GoFundMe is welcome, which all goes to support the business. We're just in the spirit of happy wedding day. Lori. Hey, Lori. Love you. Bunches and bunches. Give Rusty a hug for me, poor guy. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the town halls after I show you one thing. So I don't have a full story to do on this today, but I wanted to show you this because this is really a great example of what is wrong with our country and how we do not actually have a democracy. So this is just, as far as I can tell, just a regular Twitter user. And this person was trying to vote in the early voting in his state. So he said, a woman has fainted in line after 6 hours. This is truly a shame. And he goes on to say, they don't even have water or seats. It's literally jail. Much love to my Aussies, which is referring to the tweet above referencing Australia. So here is an image. After 6 hours in line, this is still what's going on. So I wanted to show that just quickly because this is what's happening all across the country in early voting states. There are lines 6 hours long and more. People have to stand out there to have their voice heard. There you have pundits and politicians telling you, oh, take 10 minutes and go vote. Get out there and vote. Well, it's not just taking 10 minutes to go vote. That woman fainted in line because she was trying to exercise her right to vote. She was trying to do the right thing and vote, and she fainted because this is part of the suppression that our country is designed to have. This is pure suppression, and people don't realize it. How many people can actually stand in line for 6 hours? That might be several hours of a shift for a low-income fast food worker or something like that. That could be the difference between maybe this mom was running out with has a babysitter at home. Maybe she only has 2 hours set aside to vote, not 6. Maybe these people are trying to vote with young children in arms, which I've tried to do. It's pretty difficult with kids squirming and babies squirming in your arms. They can't stand there for 6 hours with no food or drink for their kids. So look around at your early voting sites if you're in an early voting state. I'm in Maryland, and early voting doesn't start for me until I think a week and a half. But take a look at what's happening. This is all across the country. And you hear Trump and others talking about this election's going to be rigged. This is not democracy. Well, that's true. Now, I'm not saying it's true in the way that Trump is saying it. Like, the Democrats are not literally rigging the election, but the election process itself, the entire electoral process, and the very bones and structure of our society are not democratic. It's set up so that that woman will faint in line after waiting for 6 hours. So I just had to get that off my chest. I've been seeing story after story of this, and this one with the woman fainting, like, I couldn't help but bring that up. It's just really, really awful. So we'll keep an eye on that, and I want to do some interviews with people who are familiar with these kinds of like long lines in their area where people are unable to vote, where people are really disenfranchised. And this usually happens, by the way, in low income areas, in areas where there are more black and brown people, because the way our system is set up is to disenfranchise black and brown people, to disenfranchise lower income people. Whereas if you live maybe in a wealthier suburb, you can get in and out in 10 minutes. But we have to pay attention to what is going on all across the country. And the way that our system is set up, by the way, does tend to help Republicans more than Democrats, just as a side note. Now, let's dive in here to yesterday's dueling town halls. Wow, CNN's page is going pretty wacky, so excuse the things flying around the screen. So this CNN, I think, did an okay job of giving takeaways, because it was really difficult. You truly had these two different candidates on at the exact same time. ABC's was planned first with Joe Biden, then NBC decided to do one with Donald Trump, and now they say they had to schedule it at that exact time because they wanted to be fair, because they had scheduled Biden at a previous day's town hall at that time. So they said, oh, we have to do Trump at this time. We want to be fair. Really, that doesn't really seem to hold water. So in the end, that's what happened. There was supposed to be a debate. There was not a debate because Donald Trump refused to get tested, refused to have the proper testing protocols done to ensure that Joe Biden and others would be safe. Of course, we know that Trump famously decided to cruise around DC in a car and potentially infecting his Secret Service. We know that he, I think a day or two after his release from the hospital, took his mask right off talking to a crowd of people. So this is a guy who doesn't really care. So in the end, they both got their separate things. So that sets us up. Let's see how it went. So I have no idea why CNN stuff is like flying across the screen. That's really crazy. Okay, so on ABC, Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden was explaining his plan to raise taxes on people making more than $400,000 a year. On NBC, President Donald Trump was equivocating about the existence of a satanic cult of pedophiles. So this is really what people are talking about when they call, as you'll see, they ended up calling Joe Biden's town hall like the Mr. Rogers of town halls, and him the Mr. Rogers, because he's over here talking about policies and things and trying to clear up. Donald Trump keeps saying, oh, he's going to raise taxes on everybody, it's going to be horrible. Joe Biden, well, this is not great, but he's saying he won't raise taxes on people who earn less than $400,000. So he's actually talking about policy, not in a great way, not in an exciting way, not in a way that I think sways voters. But then you have Donald Trump on this side literally talking about satanic cults where celebrities eat babies, and Donald Trump is their savior, their hero. Also, JFK Jr. is alive. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm referencing QAnon, which Savannah Guthrie asked Donald Trump about, which was a very interesting exchange. So that's what I'm talking about. It's like two different planets. On one planet, you have something so out of this world and wacky and crazy, a circus, a true circus. On the other hand, you have like the status quo, the normal, the whatever. The problem with their town halls, which were drastically different in tone and substance, Americans could only pick one to watch. And of course, some people clicked back and forth, especially those who work in politics. With the second presidential debate scrapped in the wake of Trump's coronavirus diagnosis, the two candidates instead agreed to nationally televised town halls, with Biden taking questions from voters in Philadelphia and Trump doing so in Miami. The two are scheduled to debate just one more time. So here it goes into Trump's alternate reality. No hour has better illustrated the alternate reality in which Trump exists than Thursday's 60-minute town hall. Trump claimed the science is still out on wearing masks, despite the universal view of health experts, including within his own administration, that it can mitigate the spread of the coronavirus. So, to be very clear on this point, the right wing, or certain people in the right wing and Trump, they like to point to the fact that those like Dr. Fauci originally said that only healthcare workers should wear PPE, should wear masks. Then it changed to everybody should be wearing masks because it helps stop the droplets that contain the virus from, shooting out onto others. So if you have a mask there, it's much more likely to block that and to help prevent the spread of the virus. We have a lot more information now than we had in February and March. So with this evolving study, with this evolving information, with these consensuses or consensus, whatever it is, among experts, we have more information. And so we follow the science to the best of our knowledge, to the best of our ability. Trump and a lot of his supporters refuse to do that. They truly, many of them truly believe that coronavirus is either fake, that it's no worse than maybe a cold or a flu. They believe all sorts of things that stop them from wearing a mask, and it stems from Donald Trump. He would call people out for wearing masks. There would be journalists in press conferences being told to take their masks off. So this is an administration that has not worn masks, has been really just talking down about those who do wear masks and talking down about the science. So this is what we talk about when there are two different realities. I do not like Biden. When I say that Biden's town hall was better, that is because the bar is so freaking low. The bar is way down here. So Biden was coherent and like on this planet, while Trump is way off the planet, like in Mars. Let me check in on you guys, make sure you can hear me and see me. Keep smashing the like button. I see we have some super duper chats. That's exciting. Sask, 25 Canadian dollars. Sorry, was trying to defend Jordan from someone saying his previous Fox job makes this channel pro-Trump. Obviously pure lunacy. I botched facts in my rage. Your viewers and I would love if you interviewed Dimitri Lascaris. So Sask, I'm sorry for misinterpreting that because I did see the person that you're talking about say those things. So I didn't understand that you were helping. So I'm sorry for calling you out earlier. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your super chat. And I have to say, I don't know who Dimitri Lascaris is, but email me at info@statusquo.com and let me know. And I would, I'll see if it's a good fit. I'd love to do that if it is a good fit. So thank you again. I see another super chat. Keep those amazing super chats coming. Oh, here we go. Another one from Sask. 30 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. Dimitri ran for Green Party leader in Canada. Seems small beans, but he is Bernie on steroids. Worked with Aaron Mate at Real News, was anti-corporate class action lawyer, and is incredibly blunt and genuine. Sounds amazing. Yeah, that sounds really great, Sask. So definitely email me info@statusquo.com so I don't forget. I will definitely look into him. That sounds great. And I think Jordan's in the chat now. Jordan's supposed to be taking the day off. So Jordan, if you're here, go away. You're supposed to be relaxing with your fiance, chilling, maybe ordering some empanadas, maybe reading in your bubble bath or whatever. Hold on, I'm dragging over the GoFundMe here because I believe that we have some support here. Our GoFundMe is designed, for those of you who aren't familiar, to help us keep going. We operate based on viewer support. The only reason we're able to report it all and do what we do is because of you. The reason we're out in the field reporting, I just got back from the West Coast, California and Oregon, reporting on a variety of stories there. And that's because of you guys. So if you're able to help us, we don't take dark corporate money. We don't take fossil fuel cash. We don't take money from those that don't fit within our values. And our business is built based on real everyday people who appreciate real reporting like you. So GoFundMe.com/status-coup-news. And thank you so much, Kelly Elaine. As always, $50 in the GoFundMe. You are just such an incredible supporter. I really, really appreciate you. And Jordan says, all I want for my wedding is status quo support. So now that Jordan's in the chat, let me switch back to show you the cute picture. So for those of you who just joined us, Jordan and Anat are getting married on Sunday. I am so excited for this wedding. I'm so happy for both of them. So get into the party mode, get into the spirit of celebration and keep those super chats coming and the GoFundMe support. Obviously, it doesn't go towards their wedding. It goes towards the business. But as I said before, we're just celebrating. We're just being excited and getting pumped up. So this is going to be awesome. I'm so thrilled for both of them. You guys are funny in the chat. All right, keep those super chats coming. Let's dive back into this crazy set of town halls here. All right, now also Trump refused to say whether or not he believed Democrats were running a satanic pedophile ring, shrugging when pressed and saying only, "I have no idea." Savannah Guthrie did push back on that a bit, and she said, you know, well, I think it was Ben Sass or someone like that. She's like, Ben Sass has denounced this. Can you denounce it? Like, she said, I just told you what this conspiracy theory is about. Can you denounce it? He's like, no, I don't know what it is. And he wouldn't answer. He would not denounce QAnon. What he would say is that he heard that they don't like pedophiles, so he thinks that's good. Like, yeah, clearly none of us support pedophiles. That doesn't mean QAnon is okay. QAnon is insane. It is taking over. I said the other day, my therapist has had 2 people call her this week. And this is a small town, so it's not like ringing off the chain here. 2 people called because they're so devastated because their family members have been sucked into QAnon. I've interviewed a lot of Trump supporters, and I started asking them about QAnon and what they believe. And I did not have a single person, a single Trump supporter, say, no, I don't believe in QAnon. Generally, they would say, oh, yeah, I think, you know, a lot of that seems real. Like, a lot of it seems to be happening. So it's really infecting the Republican Party, and Trump won't denounce it. They literally, the QAnon believers and those on the outskirts who are being sucked in, literally believe that Trump is their savior against Democrats and celebrities who eat babies, who take adrenochrome from children so that they can live forever, that's what Hillary Clinton does, that Huma and Hillary have like spirit cooking sessions. So if you're seeing some overlap from Pizzagate from 2016, yes, you're correct. It has been moved on over to QAnon, and it is now part of that. They believe JFK Jr. is alive, and that they're working against the deep state, and that Trump is here to take them all down and to stop pedophilia. So people get sucked in because everyone's against pedophilia. Everyone wants to help save children. And then they get deeper and deeper and deeper. And they've even co-opted, these QAnon people have co-opted true movements against childhood trafficking and such. It's really horrible. So the fact that our president will not just outright denounce QAnon is abominable. It's unimaginable, or it should be. But again, this is the Twilight Zone version of town halls. He also claimed with no evidence that ballots with his name on them had been found in garbage cans. Of course, we've all heard those stories where they're finding these ballots in random places. He's really trying to build up that Democrats are going to steal the election. And he says things without proof at all. He constantly has to be fact-checked. He says whatever pops into his mind, whatever helps his narrative. A lot of his supporters don't care, or the facts get so muddied that they end up believing whatever he says. So now if Trump is saying, oh, this election is rigged, Democrats are trying to steal this election from me, here's an example, they're throwing out ballots with my name on them, Trump supporters and Republicans and independents are going to listen to that. And if they think it's valid, then they very well might vote for Trump, even if they previously weren't going to. And he would not affirm that a conspiratorial tweet he retweeted claiming Osama bin Laden is still alive is false, saying people can decide for themselves. To address that, I don't know if... So I enjoy actually reading about conspiracy theories. I enjoy it from the perspective of, I want to understand the psychology behind it. I do think that there are conspiracies that are real and not just theories. JFK, for example, Martin Luther King Jr., on and on, Bobby. So there are conspiracies. There absolutely is shady stuff going on all the time in our government, all the time in our country. But then there are these conspiracy theories that people really go down the rabbit hole here. And so one of the theories that's been around since Osama bin Laden was killed, is that he wasn't actually killed. There's two schools of thought here. Some people think he was already dead long ago, and then Obama just wanted to take credit. Others think that he actually wasn't killed at all, and that was a body double or a fake, and Obama just wanted to take credit for that, or that there's something else going on, and Osama bin Laden's like hanging out and making more plans with our corrupt officials. As you can see, it gets really, really tangled, and there's no consensus even on the conspiracy side as to what's happened. So now our president, Donald Trump, is talking about this conspiracy theory out in the open, saying he doesn't know if Osama bin Laden is actually dead. You know, putting doubt on, was it SEAL Team 6, I think, and what they did. Now, like, I'm not judging or talking about my actual thoughts on that raid and that murder and the SEAL team and all that. Not going there right now. But what I'm saying is Donald Trump is going there, and he's saying that potentially Osama bin Laden's alive, not dead. So he's in it. He's into these conspiracy theories, which makes it pretty hard to believe that he doesn't know what QAnon is. He clearly knows like the most obscure conspiracy theories. Then Savannah Guthrie had her kind of quip of the night that was really good. She said, "I don't get that. You're the president, not somebody's crazy uncle." So we've all had that thought of when Trump is just retweeting these insane things and saying these insane things. It's like we all have that uncle or whoever who's like forwarding you emails talking about conspiracy theories or this or that or something not based in science. Well, that's what Trump is doing, except he's the president and he has the ear of the entire world. So it's even more dangerous. So I think that's a good line from Savannah. It's not going to do anything, but you know, it made, you know, liberals feel good for a minute, I guess. Oh boy. Contained within Trump's regular venues of conservative television and Twitter, the upside-down world in which he exists sometimes loses its impact. But in front of everyday voters, his answers appeared wildly detached from any accepted version of reality. Voters deciding between Trump and Biden find themselves choosing less between two candidates than two entirely opposite planets. I 100% agree with that. When I interview like Biden supporters or Democrats or Bernie supporters or whatever, there's a set of facts that people agree on. They might interpret those facts differently. So a Bernie supporter would interpret those facts differently than a Hillary supporter, for example. But when it comes to those who are entrenched in Trump world and QAnon, they don't agree on the same facts. They don't have the same set of facts. It is as if they're coming from a different planet. You can tell them facts. You can ask them questions based on facts, but they can't compute it. So they'll turn it around into something they understand and something that fits their worldview. It's very, very scary. I mention it all the time, but I'm I'm fascinated with the psychology of these people. Like, how does this happen? What a world, what a world. So let's see here. So Biden's policy-focused contrast. The contrast between the candidates' approaches and their town hall topics was dramatic, especially when confronted with controversial remarks they'd made in the past. One clear window into Biden's tactics in a town hall setting, with voters pressing him one-on-one, came when a young black man recalled the former vice president's flip comment to radio host Charlemagne the God that if someone was struggling to decide between supporting him and Trump, you ain't black. Besides, you ain't black, the man asked, how could Biden convince black voters to take part in a system that has failed to protect them? So here we are. You can you can kind of tell and feel already that even by the way that CNN is writing this piece, like, we're back in like normal land. This is more of a normal situation. We're not talking about satanic pedophiles who are eating babies now. We're talking about the horrible thing that Biden said a few months ago that really does have real life impacts. It's a whole shift. The two planets, you have to realize this isn't the same world on these two sides. I think that's essential going into this election to understand that. Instead of addressing the controversial remark, Biden delved into a several-minute-long litany of policy specifics aimed at helping Black people. So this is a continuation, and as I say, because I say that Trump's was such a train wreck doesn't mean that Biden's was good. Biden shouldn't have dodged that. He should have never said that on Charlemagne's show. Of course he shouldn't have said it. And if it had been someone else, if it had been Bernie Sanders, you would have never heard the end of it. But because it was Biden, people talked about it for a little while, and then it went away. Kudos to this gentleman for bringing it up at the town hall, and I guess kudos to ABC for allowing the question on. But Biden sidestepped it, and to his liberal fans, that's okay. To his brunch-going fans, that's okay. They can sidestep that because Biden is now saying he has these policies that will help Black people. It doesn't matter to them that he wrote the crime bill. It doesn't matter that he was like buddies with Thurmond. Like it just doesn't matter. They put all of that aside because Trump is so bad, and that is true. So they go through some things that he plans to do for Black people. It was one of a number of long-winded answers from Biden on Thursday night and underscored Biden's style and his efforts to use the town hall to focus on his plans would affect ordinary Americans. So offering sobriety in the face of Trump's bombast and connection to the concerns of low and middle income Americans who he says have been ignored by Trump. So they go into some more specifics. They talked about COVID, court packing, all sorts of different topics that are kind of the moment and important right now. But in the end, I think that the contrast here between these two town halls was really, really stark. And it doesn't give me a clearer sense of anything, really. I don't think it moved the needle on either end. I don't think Biden has more voters from this. I don't think Trump has more voters from this. Perhaps those independents who maybe liked feeling a sense of normalcy appreciated Biden. But then you have to realize it's actually a very, 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 very small fraction of people who pay attention to town halls and debates, especially town halls that are dueling on opposite channels. So before I get into the ratings and stuff like that, let me check on you guys in the super chat. Keep those super chats coming. Let's see. Vicky says, did you see that at least one of Biden's undecided questioners was a former Obama administration employee who told NBC he was voting Biden? I did see that, and I am not 100% sure, but I believe it also came out that he was also on, I don't know if he was a speechwriter or something, I don't want to get it wrong, but that he had also worked for W. So he'd apparently worked for W and Obama. So I don't know. But, it doesn't surprise me that ABC would be doing some shady stuff and packing the audience and questioners with people who would be beneficial to Biden. That doesn't surprise me at all. Smash that like button, share this stream, just looking through the chats here. Another, no, did I already read that? I already read that. Okay, I scrolled up way too far. Sorry guys. As you all know, I always feel bad when I'm scrolling and you're just sitting there waiting what the heck I'm doing. Here we go. Another one from Sask. You're really, really awesome today. 660 Canadian dollars. Sorry, could I get that email again? I'm a member but wiped email. Sure, of course. info@statuscoup.com. info@statusquo.com. And because we're all so excited, can't wait, guess what? I'm going to show you this picture again and urge you to support our GoFundMe, support our Super Chat. Jordan and Anat are getting married on Sunday. Everyone cheer in your house. You can send them little letters too, info@statusquo.com. Send them some messages of excitement. And since you're so pumped up and excited, you can help support Status Quo's reporting, not supporting their wedding. You're supporting their wedding with your soul and your cheers and your heart. But you can support Status Quo's reporting and field and investigative reporting in a style that no one else has, no other company, no other set of journalists. You can support us via Super Chat, like Sask is doing today, the winner of Super Chats today, or GoFundMe, gofundme.com/status-quo-news. And I will get back to the news now. Okay, hold on, guys. That's not what I want. Sorry. One of these days we'll have producers that do this stuff for us. So this is reporting out of CNN. More people watched Biden on ABC than Trump on NBC, MSNBC, and CNBC. So this really surprised me. As I said at the top, if you held a gun to my head yesterday and said, do you think that Trump's town hall will get more viewers or Biden's? I would have automatically said Trump's. You know, people want entertainment. They don't want to watch like boring Biden just talking about nothing. They want to watch like the shit show. They want to watch the train wreck. So clearly they're going to watch Trump more. Like NBC is going to get the better ratings. I was completely wrong. I still want to understand why. It still doesn't make any sense to me. I just, based on everything I know and thought, I would have sworn Trump would get the ratings. But here's what actually happened. Joe Biden's town hall on ABC averaged 14.1 million viewers on Thursday night, easily surpassing the Nielsen ratings for President Trump's town hall on NBC. That alone was a result virtually no one in the TV business expected. Oh, good. So I'm not alone. Even TV business people were surprised. The Trump town hall was simulcast by 2 of NBC's cable channels. MSNBC and CNBC channels are included in the total. Biden, on only one network, still prevailed. The Trump town hall averaged 10.6 million viewers on the NBC broadcast network. On MSNBC, Trump reached 1.74 million viewers, and on CNBC, about 671,000 viewers. So Trump's gross audience across the 3 channels was 13.1 million, about 1 million fewer than Biden's audience on ABC alone. Staffers at ABC News privately admitted to their surprise when the preliminary ratings came in on Friday. So I don't really know what I think about this. Clearly everyone was surprised. I was surprised. It still doesn't make any sense. I have also said I don't think the town halls are actually moving the needle. But the fact that so many more turned out for Biden, who was just on one platform, one network, kind of makes me think Biden might win. You know that I've said I think Trump's gonna win. Like, I think we aren't. It's 2020, and I think like the worst thing is gonna happen at every turn, which would be Trump winning. And even with the polling, even with the swing states, you know, Biden exceeding Trump in the swing states and exceeding the margin of error in many cases. The national polling doesn't matter anywhere near as much, but Biden's surged ahead. Even with that, I've thought Trump's going to win. But I'm starting to put these factors together and wonder if I'm wrong. Maybe Biden will pull this off. I have no idea. And who knows what's going to happen. Who knows if Rudy Giuliani really does have something that's going to finally take Biden down. They're trying over there on the right. All right, so that's really all I have to say about the actual town halls itself. But I did want to point to this grist story because I think it's really, really important. What a lot of people point out when it comes to Joe Biden, a lot of people who are on the actual left and not like the liberal Joe Biden pussy hat brunch crowd left, the people who are on the actual left point out that policies are not focused on anywhere near enough. That even in climate change, it's not enough to just believe in climate change when he's gonna, push fracking. They're actually campaigning. Kamala Harris wrote a tweet saying, Joe Biden is not against fracking. That is not an exact quote. So they don't go far enough. They say pretty words. They're calm. They're like in the same world as sane people, but they care about their pockets, their bank accounts, and not about the people and not about the planet. It really all comes down to how to make a buck. So I am really inspired and encouraged all the time by Zoomers. I love Zoomers. I think they're going to change the world. So many of them are very active. So many of them know so much more about politics and about the world than I did, even as an adult. They are invested in this. They are especially invested in climate change and preventing or rolling back or doing whatever we can to help with this crisis. So Zoomers are inspirational. Zoomers see through people like Biden. They see through the pretty words and they want action. So this particular group of mostly middle schoolers did just that outside of Joe Biden's town hall. So outside Biden's town hall, middle school activists demand climate action. They go on to talk about the dueling debates. Then, just outside the doors of the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, where the event was held, Biden's event, a group of protesters, not yet old enough to vote, were demanding that he think bigger about climate change. A dozen or so members of the Sunrise Movement, many of them middle schoolers, stood on the lawn out front with signs that read, "Listen to the science," and "Youths need a Green New Deal." They weren't protesting against Biden per se. In fact, they were imploring people to vote for him. But they also wanted to raise pressure on the former vice president to take more aggressive action than he's committed to so far. Joe Biden may not be the perfect candidate, but he has expressed his agenda to fight climate change, said Ava McIver Jenkins, an 8th grader from Penn Alexander Middle School, in an impassioned speech. And although it may not be much, it is a greater deal than what Trump can ever dream of. Biden is the best chance we have. So they talk about McIver Jenkins' experience, and she later went on to say, "I have to say I was like dreading and stressing it. And then I got up and started talking, and I was like, this is so cool." So I think that's so cool that she and others are so into this. And she said she's known about climate change since she was in 2nd grade and was taught the basics. And she also says, "I've been seeing our country and our world be affected by climate change so much, and people losing their lives and homes. So the Green New Deal is a set of goals to get us past this climate crisis and to get us back on track." And of course, we have those pure, lovely, wonderful Zoomers who are fighting for a livable planet, who want a planet to exist on, because it's slowly not going to be inhabitable. It's quickly going to become not inhabitable. Think about their children, their grandchildren of these Zoomers. They are world. And people like Joe Biden can't see that. They don't care because it doesn't bring them enough money. While the oil and gas industry does bring them plenty of money. So Biden, man, how could he hear? And I hope, his staff does collect articles and present him headlines and things like that. I hope that his staff put that one in there to present to him. So then this won't happen. But how amazing would it be if Biden looked at this, read this article, saw pictures of these protesters, listened to them, and actually supported a Green New Deal? And not only supported on a verbal level, like a verbal commitment, but actually took action to help save our planet for these Zoomers and their children and their grandchildren. I'm worried about my children. I have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. What's the world going to be like for them? How can someone like Joe Biden, who I'm sorry to say is not, like, is much, much closer to the grave than the crib, how can he not look at Zoomers like this who are pleading with you, who are not against you, they're not protesting against you, they're pleading with you to have a planet, they're pleading with you to care, they're pleading with you to give a damn. So people who tell me Joe Biden is such a decent man, such a good man, they were calling him the Mr. Rogers. No, a decent, good man cares about the planet he's leaving behind. Bernie Sanders cares about the planet he's leaving behind. He cares. He cares about the millions and millions and millions and millions upon millions of people who don't have health care. But we don't have Bernie. What we have are Biden and Trump. We have someone who is running a circus on an entirely different planet with no set of, not even close to the same set of facts. And then we have Joe Biden, who can put a happy, normal face on some really shitty things and continue our country of an oligarchy, of corrupt politicians, of dark money. But there's always the hope, and I think these Zoomers have hope. They haven't experienced yet that most people probably will disappoint you. Your heroes will probably disappoint you in one way or another, but they have hope. Maybe there is hope. Maybe Joe Biden will see this article, will see pictures of these protesters, and maybe he will move left on a Green New Deal. Maybe he'll take his impassioned speech he had today about how devastating it would have been if his son Beau were turned away from treatment because he didn't have health care. Maybe he'll realize that Obamacare doesn't go anywhere near far enough. And maybe he'll implement Medicare for all. It won't happen. There's no pushing Biden left. It just won't happen. The people who say, you know, we'll get him in and we'll push him left. No, I think he needs to get in. He needs to win over Trump, but we're not going to push him left. He'll go right. He's already catering to the right. He's already trying to bring the right in. My little bar that tells me how the stream is going is like red, so I'm making sure it's okay. Sorry if it's lagging, guys. I don't know why it would be. Keep the super chats coming. I hope I didn't miss any. Remember that Jordan and Anat are getting married on Sunday. So send him a note, info@statusquo.com. And supporting Status Quo makes Jordan happy, makes Anat happy, makes me happy. So you can go to gofundme.com/status-quo-news and support us at any amount, or keep the super duper chats coming. Carl Knight, $5 in the super chat. Tell us about your upcoming podcast with Media Roots Radio. What's the topic? So we're going to be talking about our experiences in the field during this election cycle, during the primaries. We're also going to be talking about Breonna Taylor. I want to also talk about QAnon because Robbie Martin is done so much research on Q and on all these conspiracy theories. So I think it'll be really, really good. I'm excited. It'll be good. Abby, Robbie, me, and Jordan. It'll be super fun. Sorry if it's buffering, guys. I don't know why. I'll check that out for sure. I missed... Oh, yeah, I got you, Carl. Okay. I don't know how, because I'm so late, I don't know how many things I want to cover. I'll go over and I'll cover a couple things like faster than I was going to. That's what I'll do. Okay. So we've talked about the town hall. Great. The town hall's over. People can look forward to people
people can look forward to the debate that may or may not happen next week. We don't know. I have a feeling it probably won't happen because Trump will do something stupid and like not follow protocols, and Biden will say, no, I don't want to do it with you. So whatever, we'll see what happens. I think people are pretty over it, to be honest. Like, let's have the election be over. Like, let's skip to the end here, for sure. So Larry Kudlow is the next topic. So Larry Kudlow, advisor, the White House's economic advisor. So Jeff Stein tweeted this out based on what he saw earlier. He said, the White House's Larry Kudlow today with a line new to me. The talk is that a lot of folks who became unemployed, most regrettably, they're sticking with it and going out and starting new businesses. That's the great part of American capitalism. Gales of creative destruction. Gales of creative destruction. Okay, so I have to say, I wasn't really shocked that Larry Kudlow and crew would say this or believe this. And the right wing can bring in some like information and history to shape their point. It of course doesn't hold water. This is not happening. This is not true. So basically what he's saying is, because everything is horrible right now, because the economy is so bad, because everyone's lost their job, because nobody has any money, it's spurring innovation. It's making people are starting new businesses. They're going to thrive. It's the capitalist dream. Everything's going to be wonderful because people, through the gales of destruction, where people are picking themselves up by the bootstraps, and they're going to succeed. There is a little bit of precedent for this, in that in the Great Depression, there were some people who saw areas in the marketplace and were able to grow incredible businesses through that, very profitable businesses through that. But the Great Depression brings certain images to your mind for a reason. The things we know about the Great Depression stand out for a reason. It's not because everybody was suddenly starting new businesses and everybody was suddenly a business owner who was wealthy and had enough money or was comfortable. That's not the case. Larry Kudlow would sure like you to think that that is the case. So let's see. Common Dreams did a good write-up on this, which I'll go through. Trump's millionaire economic advisor celebrates gales of creative destruction as millions lose their job and go hungry. With millions of Americans out of work, struggling to afford food for themselves and their children, and facing the possibility of losing their homes, President Donald Trump's top economic advisor on Friday celebrated what he described as the gales of creative destruction, supposedly unleashed by the U.S. economic system in the midst of the pandemic-induced recession. The talk is that a lot of folks who became unemployed, all right, most regrettably, but they're sticking with it and they're going out and starting new businesses. Larry Kudlow, director of the National Economic Council, said in an appearance on Fox Business, they're going to be small businesses. But that's the great part of American capitalism, gales of creative destruction. Kudlow continued, deploying a phrase popularized in the 1940s by economist Joseph Schumpeter. I just love that new business startup story. To this, I have another thought. So when I used to be a teacher, right out of college, I got a teaching job. I taught first grade. Then I got married, and then I was pregnant with my first son, and I decided I don't want to teach anymore. The administration is really difficult. I loved the kids. I loved first graders. They were so wonderful. But the administration and all that stuff was just too much. I wanted to stay home with my one son at that time, later two sons. So it was also not a great time to be like a young family. Start 2007 when I had my first son. 2008, like the years following were really, really economically difficult. And through that, we needed money. Like, my back was to the wall. I wanted to stay home. I had a young child and then young children, but I had to find a way. So I did start my own small business as a freelance writer and ghostwriter, copywriter, like web digital marketing, stuff like that. I did start my own small business. So I'm not saying that this isn't possible. Like when people's backs are to the wall, yes, sometimes it does spur people to take certain steps and actions. Maybe it does bring to mind some like, oh, I lost my job, so I'm going to start my own business now. But it is a very privileged thing to be able to do. At the time that I started it, we were living at my in-laws, and that was a privilege because we didn't have rent at that time. A lot of people don't have that privilege. They have to, go to their minimum wage job to keep food in their mouths. They can't like stop paying rent and then on a wing and a prayer hope that their new business works. I was lucky that mine took off really quickly because there was a demand for what I was providing, but it's a huge privilege that I was able to do that. It says nothing about me. It's not like I'm better than anyone else, so I was able to start a successful business, and I did end up like earning more than I was when I was teaching, and it was really flexible, and it truly was a privilege. But people who don't have internet access don't have that privilege to work online. People who have to pay rent and work at McDonald's to make ends meet, they don't have that privilege. So anyway, I say all that and bring my own story into it to say, like, yeah, they can pull in instances of this happening. And yeah, sometimes economic devastation does lead to new businesses and new ideas and new ways of doing things. But that is a position of privilege. And increasingly, it is only the wealthy and the white who do have that privilege. The everyday person doesn't. And we have historic rates of real unemployment, and it's the stimulus check, the second stimulus check. Has anyone seen that? No, of course not, because they haven't even decided to send us one. People are struggling, and for the White House to put this out there is not a surprise, but it is completely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Nothing good at all to say about this. So the article here goes on to say, critics immediately noted that millions of people across the U.S. who are teetering on the brink of complete financial ruin are likely not impressed by the so-called creative destruction praised by Kudlow, who in June complained that the $600 per week federal unemployment insurance boost many jobless workers were receiving at the time was excessive. Let's see. Yeah, it goes on and on. I'll pop this link in the box for you guys so you can read it. Here you go. Yeah, just a lot of privilege and a complete lack of understanding of anything that real people are going through. It's really horrible. I do see some people saying that I'm buffering. I'll do one more quickie and then I'll move on. All right. Oh, Amy says, tried selling on eBay, but not much luck with sales. Lost money actually for selling items for less. Yeah, Amy, I actually, for a while, I did the Amazon FBA thing. Like, I would sell stuff on eBay. I would get stuff on sale or whatever. And then if it was selling, I mean, this is very capitalist of me, and I wouldn't do this today, I guess, but I'd find sales and stuff on books, or like I would find good used books that were cheap, and then I would sell them on Amazon where they were selling for more money. So I made good money doing that. Very, very corporatist. But, people do what they have to do. And obviously, like the person selling on eBay or Amazon FBA, like the everyday person, is not the problem. The oligarchy is the problem. Keep smashing that like button, guys. Share this stream. Remember that Jordan and Anat are getting married on Sunday. Write them a fun note. info@statusquo.com to wish them good luck. Keep super chats coming in celebration. GoFundMe.com/status-quo-news. So one thing that's been in the news this week is Twitter going insane. So you all know that the New York Post released a story about Hunter Biden, basically showing, or so they say, that Joe Biden did in fact meet with Ukrainian staffers or whatever at this gas company, Burisma. But Twitter and Facebook decided that they didn't have enough information to verify that this was real. So Twitter straight out blocked the sharing of this link at all, this New York Post link. Not only that, but they completely locked down the New York Post's Twitter, their entire Twitter, deleted their tweet, blocked everyone else from tweeting that link. Facebook blocked it as well for fact checking or whatever. So Twitter lost its mind in particular, and there were calls against this censorship, and I do strongly believe it's censorship. The question to me wasn't, is are the Hunter Biden emails legit or not? I now think they are legit because of stuff that's come out after, but we still don't have like the firm proof. But assuming it's legit or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is the New York Times, Washington Post, they've all put out stories that have, leaked information or whistleblower information that couldn't be independently verified. Like it'd been verified by the New York Times, but not by, the Daily Beast or not by Twitter. So because they don't have the original information, the original documents. So if Twitter is going to apply this technique of literally blocking links and reporting and shutting outlets down, the New York Post has been around for over 200 years, by the way. So if they're going to get into that habit, that's a real slippery slope, a real scary one. What's going to happen to independent media when they can't verify the things that you are reporting? What's going to happen? So they got a lot of pushback, importantly, and I think good. And so here's what Jack, the head of Twitter, says now. Jack said today, straight blocking of URLs was wrong, and we updated our policy and enforcement to fix. Our goal is to attempt to add context, and now we have capabilities to do that. So they're walking back and saying that the steps that they took were not great. Here is another someone who works at Twitter, legal policy and trust safety lead at Twitter. Over the last 24 hours, we've received significant feedback from critical to support materials policy yesterday. By the way, we don't know or can't, there's no precedence really for deciding if these materials were hacked or not. Is a computer repair person getting these emails off of an abandoned computer that is now their property? Is that hacking? I think no. So after reflecting on this feedback, by the way, that does not mean I think that computer stores should look at people's data. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I don't think it's hacked. I think it's wrong that they did it. So they go on, after reflecting on this feedback, we have decided to make changes to the policy and how we enforce it. Why the changes? We want to address the concerns that there could be many unintended consequences to journalists, whistleblowers, and others in ways that are contrary to Twitter's purpose of serving the public conversation. We put the hacked materials policy in place back in 2018 to discourage and mitigate harms associated with hacks and unauthorized exposure of private information. We tried to find the right balance between people's privacy and the right of free expression, but we can do better. They talk about the labels they've added. We believe that labeling tweets and empowering people to assess content for themselves better serves the public interest and public conversation. The hacked material policy is being updated to reflect these new enforcement capabilities. So I think it's good that they're walking this back. They went way too far. And it really excited the right. It really excited Trump supporters, not in a good way. They were furious. And to them, it proved what they knew, or what they think they know, that the Democrats and corporate media are out to get them specifically. they believe that by censoring this Hunter Biden story, that big tech, as they call it, Twitter and Facebook, are Team Biden, and that they'll do everything they can to help Biden win and suppress Donald Trump. Twitter also locked down Kayleigh McEnany's Twitter and the Trump campaign's Twitter. So if you're a right-winger, a Trump supporter, a QAnon person, this fits right into your narrative. And this gets you pumped up. If you're on the fence, this might have pushed you off the fence and over to the right, because it is really egregious. It is what they thought all along, that they're being silenced, that they don't have a voice. So I want to keep an eye on that. I don't trust big tech at all. I don't trust Twitter and Facebook to have our best interests at heart. I especially don't trust Facebook. I think is like movie villain evil level. Yeah. So I don't trust them. This is good. They're doing it so they don't lose credibility, so they don't lose users. But if it helps their bottom line in the end, they will censor. They will censor. So everybody needs to be aware and don't trust these social sites. Use these social sites for what they're worth, but don't trust them. Just like, here on YouTube, we have a lot of subscribers here, and we want to continue growing our subscriber base. Subscribe if you haven't already. But we're also building an email list. We're also building a text list. We're also telling you guys, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have all of these places. Because if a single one of them gets shut down, it's okay, because we've built our business beyond that single place or that single site. I am worried. I am worried about what's to come. I'm worried about being an independent journalist and speaking truth to power. The power doesn't want the truth to come out. And status quo is small. We're small but mighty, and we'll keep fighting no matter what. We've had strange things happen to us, like when we've reported on power, like certain police departments, for example. All of a sudden, our website goes down. Our website gets attacked. This stuff happens, and you never know what could happen in the future. It could get worse and worse, but we will use our voices in every way possible, and we will keep reporting. We won't back down. So with that, I want to check in on you guys and say, don't forget that Anat and Jordan are getting married on Sunday. So excited for both of them. So excited for the wedding. I am so happy. I'm so thrilled with sorry, I get distracted by the thing. I'm so happy for them. Jordan and I have been good friends for a while, and it was clear, like, from the moment he met Anat, she was the one for him, and just like the way he would talk to her and like look at her, like you could tell that there is something really special there. So I am very excited for them. As far as, sorry about the buffering, guys, I don't know what's going on. It usually doesn't do this. Thank you, Lucy Ruth, $4.99 in the super chat. Support independent journalism. Thanks, Jen. Thank you, Lucy Ruth. Very sweet of you. If you can celebrate this exciting time, gofundme.com/status-coup-news and support us at any amount. It really helps. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm going to sign off because it is buffering. If you want to, maybe I'll answer a couple questions if you guys want me to. So ask me a couple questions, then I'll sign off. But keep those exciting super chats and GoFundMe's coming. I have some great plans in the works. Some great plans. Reese, they were in London in that picture. Carl, I will. Whoops. Carl, sort of. It's complicated because of the pandemic. I'm going to be in Maryland, but I'll be there virtually, and I sent a little special message over too. So Yep, X will there be a live stream of the honeymoon. Unfortunately, they don't get to take a honeymoon yet. Bummer. Yeah. Yeah, listen to Dave. Email Jordan and Anat your congratulations. info@statusquo.com. Lake Bykill has a lot of UFO activity. You know, Harry Reid lately has been talking about UFOs. I want to know more. I want to know all the UFO secrets. I think they have to be real. There's too many people have seen crazy, crazy things. I don't know. What do you guys think? Careful around the radical right. I agree for sure. It is scary sometimes with some of these extremists on the right. Who has the more dangerous propaganda, Republicans or Democrats? I think like when it really comes down to it, they are on the same team, and that team is money. So when it comes to Team Money and their like capitalist, oligarchic tendencies or actions, I think they're both like as dangerous as the other. I think Republican propaganda though is probably more devious and scary, but I might be biased because I'm very, very left. Yay. Okay, so I see that I am still buffering, so I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. GoFundMe.com/status2-news. Hang in there, be happy, be cool, write Jordan and Anat and say congrats. info@statusquo.com. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend.